session. Today we're lucky to be joined by Paige Lewis. Paige, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's start by what makes you qualified to be on the Palm Beach County School Board?
So I actually have a broad spectrum of background that qualifies me for this position. First of all, my daughter graduated from Palm Beach County School District. I'm very proud of her. She was a basketball player and got a scholarship, so that's part of it. But I spent the past 7 years as a reading intervention teacher, so I really understand a lot about how, what's going on in the school district with reading scores, and I have a plan for what to do about that. Excuse me. I was also a small business owner for many years. So I ran a restaurant for 13 years. So anybody knows that you really have to learn how to be fiscally responsible and make quick decisions for that. I also have managed a lot of commercial properties, so I understand, about acquiring properties, taking care of them, coming up with financing and those kinds of things. So I have a very broad spectrum. I also have a background in mental health as well.
That's good. We talked about it at the beginning of the newscast with Palm Beach County getting that A grade back again, but still, as you said, the reading scores still showing just about half of our kids are reading where they should be. You said you have a plan, so what's in it? I
do have a plan. So, currently we don't spend a lot of time teaching our teachers in, kindergarten through third grade, teachers in how to actually teach reading. So the first thing I would like to do is make sure that our teachers are trained in a methodology that Orton-Gillingham, I'm actually an Orton-Gillingham practitioner, and that's a great way. It captures dyslexic kids, it captures English as a second language. I mean, we know that a lot of the dyslexic children are not diagnosed till later on, so if we're using this methodology from the beginning, we're preventing a problem that we might encounter later on. So I really believe that teachers should be trained in that. We would have to do that as a district starting out, but eventually I would like to see the legislature really look at the larger teaching colleges and making sure that they're also teaching this methodology. Currently, teachers may get 1 or 2 classes in actually how to teach reading, and it's really fundamentally the most important thing that you have to be able to do math or social studies, history. I mean, you really can't do anything until you can read.
The Orton-Gillingham training, though, and all those supplies, that's expensive, right? So you'd have to balance your budget somehow, take money away from something else to put that money towards that. So, where would you take the money from for that Orton-Gillingham?
So for me, let's start with programs that aren't working. So the technology that we're using with iReady is not actually teaching our kids to read. We know that because only 54% of our kids are reading on grade level. What I'd like to really talk about is how we would save money by teaching kids to read. And we would save money on tutoring, after-school programs, teaching to the test, because kids that can read and critically think don't need to be taught how to take a test because they already have the skills and understand, how to answer questions with that. We'd also eliminate, did I say summer school could be eliminated? And again, just the cost of the technology that we use in kindergarten through third grade. I really think a lot of that is going to waste. I know that my kids that I've worked with, a lot of times will get on there and I'll ask them, I'll say, what are they teaching you at school? How are they teaching you to read? And I had a child say, well, they sit me in front of a computer. And I said, well, does it teaching you to read? And he goes, no, I can't read. I open another tab and do something else. So there's a lot of places that I really believe that reading can help, in our schools. It increases confidence. You do better in other subjects. You behave better. Because oftentimes the kid in the class that's not behaving is the one that's not reading.
Once again, Paige Lewis is on the ballot for next month for District 1 in Northern Palm Beach County. Paige, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you for having me.
We have more ARC Florida coming up after this.
Welcome back to ARC Florida. A mostly sunny start to the day, a little hot and humid, and we're going to stay